Hey, it's Thursday. How's everybody tonight? I hope none of you were in that horrible storm that some of the people north of us had last night. I'm a little bit of a mess today because I've been felting all day. Can I show you? Yeah, turn my camera just a little bit. You can see some of my mess here. My new heat press that I can press things and make them nice and smooth. I have a lot of felting going on. That said, let's see where to begin. Couple of projects that are almost finished. First one, I don't think I've shown you this one yet. This is Wake Forest, and I've done this in Woolfolk Farm. Not Wake Forest, Moon Wake from by Andrea Mowry, and it's a cowl, and it's going to get Kitchener together with a twist. And I think that, as I recall, the directions said to do a provisional cast on by crocheting a chain and then going in and picking up the stitches in the back bump of a crochet chain. 1 minute. Oh, this probably is not a good message. If anyone knows how to get rid of messages that you don't want from people, let me know. I haven't had a chance to take a look at that yet. Companies, not people. I always like hearing from all you guys. Anyway, so this is a good example if you have a way that you prefer to do it. And I do not like doing a provisional cast on by picking up in the back bump. I prefer to do a crochet cast on, which is essentially the same thing, because when you crochet over your needle is in the back bump, but you don't split anything. So when you go to pull it out, it pulls out really nicely. Let's see if I can. I know I'm not going to be able to show this to you properly, but you can see how nicely this comes out. Just easy peasy. So if any of you don't know how to do a crochet cast on, you can look it up online or ask me, and I can do a really, see, I'll learn how to do this yet with the opposites. Anyway, it just comes out so nicely. And if I go to try to pick it up in the back bump, I always split things. So, hey, okay, I didn't have my chat on. Candace is here, and thank you. It's Woolfolk Far. It's so nice. And Leslie is here, and I have to thank Leslie, and her family, 100 million times for helping me meet a felting deadline. I called, somebody said, looks like Santa's workshop, and I said, I have an elf. Anyway, Leslie, thank you so much. So that's project 1. That's almost done. I have not been knitting very much because I've been getting up early and getting to the shop by 7 because I'm doing a lot of felting. The other project that the knitting is done is finally my I can't remember the name of the sweater, XX1, Hinterstein. So it's done, needs to be blocked, needs the pockets to be sewn down, and all those little pesky ends that I have, because I really didn't want to open another skein of yarn. So it's done, almost, except for all those little finishing details. And the reason this is done is because I forgot to take some other yarn when I was in the car that I wanted to start something new. Heaven forbid I finish something. So this made me finish it. And Knit Companion makes reading charts so easy. I cannot say how much I love Knit Companion. So much so that I took my knitting bag with me to my daughter's house on Tuesday and left it there. So in there is my iPad. And I did not know that you could download Knit Companion on the computer. And I haven't used it on my computer, but it's there if I need to look up a pattern. That's done. Whoops. Breed specific yarns. Now let's wait on that a minute. I'm going to try the Scout shawl pattern. That was the one that I talked about a few weeks ago, or a couple weeks ago, probably 4 weeks ago now. That it's Scout by let me share my screen. Hold on. Oh, I could share my. See, I'm not getting any better at this. Okay, hold on. Let me try this again. This needs to be bigger so I can see to share. And oh, never mind. I didn't prepare to share the screen. Anyway, it's Scout. It's the shawl pattern with all of the intarsia. It's absolutely beautiful. It's pretty amazing. And I haven't done anything like that in a long time. And it's also intarsia on both, not intarsia, Fair Isle. There is some intarsia in it, but it's Fair Isle on both sides. So I can do it. It's not necessarily fun for me, but I'm going to try it, and then I'll get back to you. And then if anyone wants to do it with me, I might be able to give you some advice. Hey, Susan, I haven't seen you in like forever. So here are my greens, and she gives you, the designer gives you some hints on how to pick out your colors, and it's a light and a dark of one color, and then another light and a dark of a contrasting color. And I'm really wanted to do something with, but there's not enough contrast with that. So I really wanted some golds. So I could do this, but then I'm having trouble finding the other one. So maybe this with a neutral. Maybe. Not sure. Might go to more raspberry kind of things. So maybe. Oh my goodness, it's Toby saying hi in chat. And Bridget, how are you? Oh, it's so nice to see people that to talk to people that I haven't seen. So I'm thinking this, and I think this is the way I'm going to go. I really wanted some orange in there or I wanted some fall, like leafy colors, but this could be it. Anyway, more on this next week, promise. See, when I say promise, means I have to start it. I do have a couple of these online now, not these in particular. And for those of you that haven't seen them, this is Hudson Valley fiber. that I felted. And they're little notions bags. And buttons, I think, come from Oregon. I bought them a long time ago from someone who makes them. And inside is Ann Bud's gauge ruler and a couple of pockets. And in the big pocket, which is really big enough to carry a skein of yarn, especially if you're a sock knitter. And there's a glass nail file and a handy tool, one of those little crochet hooks. I love those little things. I'm not a big notions person, a gadgety person, but there are a few things I like. And this is kind of grown out of the fact that these are the things I like to have next to me when I knit. This is a relatively big eye tapestry needles, but it still goes through a buttonhole. And you know how when you want to sew on buttons, sometimes it's hard for this unorganized here to find the right needle. And because I own a shop, I'll open another pack. That's not very cost effective. A U-clip, a tape measure, and this is upcycled denim, some fabric that I have around. It's over here. So those are my notion rolls. And like I say, there will be more on the website, but right now, I think there's 2 or 3 up there. Just didn't have a chance to get any more done today. That said, now, breed-specific yarns. I'm so excited. I'm so excited about so many things with yarn. Mary Jean's also working with me on, I'm going to revamp, not the Mudna natural colors, but the Mudna colors. And they're going to be heathered. And, oh, Susan wants to know, what's a U-clip? A U-clip is a really nifty gadget. And for those of you that don't know, Amanda has since moved away, but her husband was at West Point, and she had several small children who would always pull things off her knitting needles. And she looked at her husband and said, "You have to make something." And this little U-clip comes apart, and you can put two needles in it, like two. When I sell them separately, they come in a set of 3. But this is not a good needle to demo with. Let me see. There must be other knitting needles in this shop. That's too big. If you have big needles, you would use 1 on each needle. If you have smaller needles, you would use just 1. And I will tell you, if you're doing lace or anything that, if you're knitting and you're traveling and you've got, size 8 or above and your knitting comes off, it's not a huge deal. But if you're knitting lace and your needles come out, that's a problem. So these little things clip. Let me do that again. Clip right around your needle. And it's really hard to pull them off. So they're not point protectors. They really hold your stitches on. And like I say, if you have a big needle, you put 1 on each needle. If you have double points, 1 on each end when you have the set of 3. But like I say, just for, I love it just for lace or for the smaller stitches that I really, really, really don't want to have to be bothered picking them up and doing a lot of major work. So that's a U-clip. You're welcome, Susan. Let's see. And I'm very, very lucky, very fortunate that Amanda will still supply me with U-clips. I feel very special that she'll do that for me, even though she's no longer living here. Now, breed-specific yarn. Breed-specific yarn means that the yarn is made from 1 breed of sheep. And why is that good or important? Well, for one thing, you're supporting local farms, because we have a lot of farms in the area regionally that that their flock is one breed of sheep. So, and many of these breeds are, hey, Emily, yay. Many of these breeds are endangered, and there's a group called the Livestock Conservancy, and if you go to livestockconservancy.org, you can, it's not just sheep that they list, but you can look at sheep, and to see there's all different levels. Something is, the numbers are critical, or they're threatened, or they're recovering. Anyway, they also have a program called Save 'em to Shave 'em. Shave 'em to save 'em. Shave 'em to save 'em. And that's kind of a fun thing to do, is that you can get a passport, and there are farms in our area and all, through New England that do participate, and you can get a tasting of that particular yarn and complete your passport, and then you send it in for, I don't know if there's a drawing or what you do, but it's just kind of fun. It gives you a reason to go on a little farm tour. So the first one I have is 100% Clun Forest and Bobolink yarn. She scours, she's from, I think, Vermont, and she kind of scours the New England area for specific breeds. So this one is, like I said, Clun Forest, and I really didn't know this breed of sheep myself. I'm in retail. I'm not a farmer. I grew up on a farm, but not a sheep farm. And so I'm learning a lot about different breeds. And as I've said to you before, this is fabulous. So what else is so special besides supporting local and supporting farms and supporting different breeds of sheep? This feels so special, because when you buy commercial wool, it's wool. It comes from a wool pool. It may be from the U.S. wool pool. It may be, it's all different mixed up yarn, and it loses the character. This yarn is so squishy. And I will say that there are not many fine wools that are raised in the Northeast, because we don't have the climate for it. But on the other hand, something like this will make a gorgeous hat, mittens. And to be perfectly honest, yarn like this is more expensive. But you don't have to make a sweater from it. You can support local, just like you do with organic food or local farms. A hat, mittens, something like this, you may or may not want a cowl out of, to make a cowl out of it. But these are the colors I have in this. And they are 50-gram skeins, and they are, I think, 17 skeins, so it's a little more expensive. But, and her labels didn't stay on really well. I'm going to have to at least reattach and retape them. But the colors are beautiful, and the colors are dyed by Bobolink. And yeah, I love breed specific, because it feels so different. The next one I'm going to try, because I wanted to make a hat, was Cheviot, and it's in my knitting bag in Connecticut. Katie also sent me some other samples, and this one is Coopworth. And and if you come by the shop and you want to feel the differences in these, please do. I mean, I won't, eventually I'll knit a sample from these, but this feels different. The Clun is so bouncy. And and also how it's spun affects how things feel. But, and this is Dorset, and I love the way this feels. Again, it's not something, unless you're weird like me, that you would want against your skin, but it would make a fabulous hat or a fabulous, really, really great pair of mittens. And I'm also going to have some Dorset sock yarn coming before too long. And then this is Romney fingering, and Romney is a really common sheep in New York State, and Mudna has a lot of Romney in it. This one is 100% Romney. Again, I just love squishing it. Bridget had a question. Are they all 2-ply? I believe so. Let me see. I'm looking at this one. Oh, no. Duh. I'm telling you, so tonight's not good. The Clun is 3-ply. The Clun Forest is 3-ply. And I think the Cheviot might be 3-ply, but like I said, it's sitting back in my daughter's house. Yeah, so take a look. The other good book, our library system has a lot of books on wool and knitting and crocheting. Clara Parks's wool book is another really good book. Again, also go to the livestockconservancy.org. On the Hudson Valley Textile Project website, you can, Deb Robson, who is the author of this book, hosted some videos for us of some of our local sheep. I don't know if you can get this book out of the library or not. This is a condensed version, so you might be able to get one. I haven't looked in the local library. And then I mentioned the Hudson Valley Textile Project. Our 4th annual summit is coming up on July 30th. We're working on program and on venue. We're just ironing a few things out. But Clara Parks is going to be our keynote speaker. She may, right now, it's going to be a hybrid event, and Clara will most likely be video live streamed, but we're really excited to have her. And we have a lot of support this year from our state legislators. So we will have some legislators there. And if you don't belong to the Hudson Valley Textile Project, take a look at it, because slowly we're building our membership and building what we do to help the supply chain of wool and alpaca. And hopefully we will get some hemp in our supply chain at some point in time. And anyway, take a look at it. I'm really excited about the summit this year, because we've got some pretty good things, I think, that we're going to have there. But I can't tell you much more, but Claire is a definite. Wow, I think I've said enough tonight. I hope I was intelligible. And yeah, that's the right word. It's been a long day, and I still have a meeting tonight, but that's okay. I don't have to say much in it, I don't think. Anyway, thank you all for coming, and I hope that you all have a good evening, and that you have some yarn to squish and hold in your hand. And yeah, see you next week. If not before. Oh, one more thing. See, I can't stop talking. Every week I put new yarns out on my sale racks. So stop by when it's not raining. And even though I'm still not open in the shop, I am open in the parking lot. And I have a few racks of of nice yarns. So, and they change every week. So anyway, that said, have a really good night, and I hope to see you all soon. And thanks for chatting. Thanks for letting me know you were here.